Hello friends. I don't want to be the girly that holds this, especially holds this small mic. However, it keeps getting on my shirt and it makes this crunchily, you probably hear it now, where it's more intense, and I don't like that. But I also didn't want to become this human that holds the mic like this. I just didn't want to be that person. But, you know, desperate time, desperate measures. So here we are. Welcome to a vlog. I was not doing this vlog. I was in a completely different vlog and then I scrapped it. I scrapped it twice. I scrapped it once when I did the opening clip, and then I was like, I'm gonna try one more time. Did an opening clip, did a car clip, and then I looked at today and I was like, we're scrapping it. We're gonna scrap it. Scrap. We're scrapping it. So, scrapped it again. And I was like, but you know what? I haven't done a vlog in a long time. And that's because January was a shit show. That's why I didn't do a vlog. But I really want to vlog. I'm getting the urge to vlog. So I was like, you know what? Let's do like a little challenge. I'm really actually doing this because I have a lot of crap checked out right now, right, from the library. I have a lot of stuff I'm supposed to be reading from my collection, and to be quite fair, I have slowed down this month. I don't know if I'm technically in a slump or not. I was just telling patrons, I was like, I want to get some stuff done, but your girl might be in a slump. I read Renee Watson's new book, All the Blues in the Sky, and that damaged me. So we don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to see how much I can get read in 48 hours. AKA, this is technically like a weekend reading vlog because it is currently Friday. Well, it's finna be Saturday because I was doing some content last minute that should have been filmed this week, but it's award season, so work is a little crazy for me right now. I couldn't wait anymore for the wrap up to go up. It had to get done, and it's an hour long, so an hour plus of filming, then an hour plus of editing, and then I had to film another video for Patreon, and so it is just turned into my Friday night being content creation, which is not a bad thing. You know, content creation for me has to happen on Friday, Saturday, partly on Sunday, but Friday and Saturday are my good days because I know that I can wake up in the morning and go to sleep, or I can go to bed and I don't have to be up early in the morning. Gosh, clearly I'm tired because I did work a full day today. I don't have a TBR. I had that Firelight Apprentice graphic novel. That's part of the intention of this too, is that I have a lot of graphic novels that I do need to read because I have them checked out. Graphic novels and manga that they need to get done. They need to go back to the library. The Remarried Empress, I have volume 6, 7, 8. It's an ass of shit. I just don't want to come up with a TBR because I'm just not that person, because I can give you a TBR and honestly the likelihood of me sticking to that in 48 hours is very unlikely. Give me a TBR, give me 30 days, you know, we're talking about a 50-60% chance of getting stuff done. 48 hours, you're not gonna get it out of me. So no TBR here. We're literally just going to go in and see what I can finish. Now I can tell you what I'm currently reading. I am reading that graphic novel as well as like a million other graphic novels. The one that I need to finish though is The Other Side of Tomorrow. The artwork is done by JJ Lee and I love their work so much. They wrote In Limbo. Was it 2023? I think 2023 they did In Limbo, which is a young adult graphic novel. Really good. The Other Side of Tomorrow, I probably have about I would say like 60-75 pages left, and it's about two North Koreans crossing the river into China to escape North Korea, and it is devastatingly sad. And I was not expecting that because it is a middle grade graphic novel, and that's not what my heart was anticipating. So there is that. That is one of the graphic novels that I'm currently reading. I have not been doing well with my audiobook game. I haven't been satisfied with what I've been seeing or listening to via audiobook because I'm not enjoying narrators right now. Everybody's voice is not sounding great to me. So technically, I should listen to Anna and the French Kiss because that is off of that TBR thing that I did in January and I still haven't finished it. So I could do that. I have Brewed with Love. That sounds pretty interesting. That's like a set of fantasy romance. The 13th Child sounds good. I have a bunch of audiobooks that I could potentially be reading. What am I going to read? Je ne sais pas. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I was going to start re-listening to, what is the name of the book? So Let Them Burn. I was going to start listening to that again because I do have This Ends in Embers checked out, which is the second book that just released. So I may do that. What I can tell you is tonight is looking like a scrappity doo-doo. I ain't finna get nothing done tonight because it is 12:04 and I still need to order groceries for tomorrow. I should tell you why also I picked this weekend to do 48-hour readathon. I am not leaving this house like that this weekend. It's Super Bowl weekend. I don't want to be involved in the chaos that is the Super Bowl weekend, and I live in a football heavy area. You know, when you live in the South, football is like a huge thing. Not just the Super Bowl. It's just football is life. Whatever. Plus, I need to deep clean this house. Okay? I have not been able to deep clean this house since the beginning of the year because this year has been kicking my ass. And the only thing I've wanted to do is sleep. So, I'm going to literally do a grocery pickup tomorrow. And after I do this grocery pickup, I already forewarned my child. Don't ask me to go nowhere this weekend. We ain't finna go nowhere. I need to clean this house. And then Sunday, routinely, just out of habit already, I get ready for Monday. So I think this is going to be a cozy, we're going to be in the house type of situation, where I'm going to clean stuff up and get stuff situated. I have a new TBR cart that I need to build. I probably will keep y'all along for that. I listen to audiobooks when I clean, so I'll have a better idea tomorrow of what's going to happen in the next 48 hours. That's all I can give y'all right now. Is that I can tell you what's going to happen in the next 48 hours beginning tomorrow, because that's when my day I'll feel refreshed. I'll feel like I'm awakened, I'm alive type of situation. But right now, I'm dead to the world. And I know that I'm rambling, and that's okay. It's okay. I also, maybe I should do it this way. I should go on Goodreads and I should tell you what I'm currently reading that I need to finish up. Because I went from having my Goodreads under control to having 22 books that I'm currently reading. And that's one thing I didn't want to do this year, is have all these books that I'm currently reading. A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson needs to get done this weekend. That book was due at the library today, and I didn't return it. So I need to finish that. I'm currently reading The Remarried Empress Volume 6. I really should finish 6, 7, and 8 because somebody has those on hold. And I really need to finish The Last Dragon on Mars, because that is book club nonsense that I need to finish because I need to start a second book this month. All that stuff is physical. That still doesn't answer the question about what audiobook, because I just haven't been in the mood to read audiobooks. It's fine though. Alright, that's it. That's the introduction. That's wild, right? And yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as in my wrap-up video because I do everything at the last minute. This is not ASMR. I don't do all of that. I just want to let y'all know that. That's just dramatic effect. Okay. This is not a diary. No more talking. I will check in with y'all when I have some update. When something happens, I will update you. Good morning. It is Saturday. We are headed to do grocery pickup. I haven't read anything. I did not end up reading anything last night because I was just so exhausted. I'm thinking, I still don't know what audiobook I want to listen to, but I think I may just go for, I don't know if I want to do middle grade or YA. I still haven't made the final decision on that. But first things first, grocery pickup, and then we'll figure things out after that. Friends, so I have been essentially cleaning since the last time that I checked in with you. We went and we did grocery pickup, and then we came home immediately, started cleaning the kitchen, living room, just started cleaning upstairs, the bathrooms upstairs, all types of jazz. So while I've been doing that, I've been listening to the book Brewed with Love, which is it's like a paranormal cozy romance. It focuses on two characters. We're following one main character who is a part of a coven, and she is working on this new potion that is supposed to help her get over, or help anybody get over heartache. And she did this because the other character, who used to be her best friend, kind of dipped out on her, and she hasn't really recovered from that heartbreak. And clearly there was more than just a friendship between them. There was kind of this romantic aspect going on between the two of them, and so she is kind of dealing with the fall of that. I think this is interesting, where it's a world where I don't think that magic is normalized, and so people can visit their towns, because her and her grandmother run this shop where they brew potions and they sell them. I think that magic has just been normalized at this point. So people are definitely used to having access to magic and to potions and looking for a lot of healing solutions, and they're in competition with another place. It's very interesting. Just, I don't know when's the last time I read a book where magic is kind of magic amongst non-magic folk is normalized. So I hope that even made sense. You have magic folk and non-magic folk existing in the same areas, and it's not abnormal. So this is definitely one of those cozy fantasy books. I don't think I've read a YA cozy fantasy in a hot minute. Everything has been definitely not a cozy vibe. This is cozy. I think I'm about 30% into the book because I've been doing other things at the same time. I'm hoping that at some point I will be able to finish the book today. We are about to do lunch, and then after lunch I am going to rebraid my kiddo's hair. I was gonna wait to beat it till tomorrow because I think we may go to the hair shop or hair supply store in order to get new beads, and I kind of want some charms and stuff for my locks. They oxidize so quickly because they're so cheap, and so once I get some, I use them, and then I don't get more because they, like I said, they don't last long. They oxidize super quickly, which is the unfortunate part about having them. But I do want some, and I also want to get a new pair of hoops, which they also oxidize just because it's cheap. But if you've ever been to a black hair store, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's, yeah. But so the main character in this is black, and I think that the love interest has Mexican roots. At least she just described her father being from Mexico. So there's that. Cute, charming little sapphic romance with the paranormal, cozy vibes in the background. But like I said, we're gonna do lunch. I need to lay down. My back is killing me. And you know, that's the one thing they tell you about having a house, right? Like the amount of space that you have, and we don't like have like a particularly big house, but it's just a house to clean. And so I just haven't had the chance to really like deep clean the way I wanted to deep clean since the beginning of the year because of everything that happened in January. And so like, you know, I'm getting on the floor cleaning baseboards type of business. If you know anything about that, let me tell you. If you ain't never cleaned a baseboard in your life, honey, get with it. So yeah, I mean, like, that's the type of deep clean I'm doing, on my hands and knees cleaning baseboards because it needed to be done. Vacuuming out the couch type of situation. That's the type of deep clean we're doing. Getting rid of stuff that I should have been gotten rid of, cleaning out drawers. It's not spring cleaning the way I want to do spring cleaning because I'm going to do a big spring cleaning where I kind of really get some stuff out of this house. It's amazing. I haven't even lived in this house for 3 years, and it's amazing how much crap you can accumulate in such a short period of time. So that's all the update I have. Oh, I should show y'all my because I did do the cart, and so we have Blippi on the TV. I don't think I can even like switch y'all. Okay, so I don't think I switched, but I will switch around to the side. Hold on. So sorry for the background noise of Blippi, but this is the TBR cart. I try not to put as many books on it this time because last time I did, and I think that's actually what broke it, and I actually read that each section shouldn't be more than 6 pounds, which I still think I went over 6 pounds, but these are primarily library books that I need to get to. Not all of it is kidlit related stuff. As you can see, I have some adult stuff here, but a lot of it is, that's an adult book, but I'm using this for an upcoming project. Some nonfiction here that I need to get to, the History Smasher series that one of them was a 5-star read for me last year that I liked. Some other things that I've been trying to get to that I actually forgot I had checked out till I cleaned out my library bag. It's horrible. And then just some other things, some manga, some graphic novels. This is actually my book. That's library. That's my book. That's my book. So it's a mix of library and mine. It's just another space to kind of keep me visually aware of what I have going on. At some point I do need to pick up a physical book, but right now I'm just kind of leaning into the audio while I do get stuff cleaned up in the house. So when I have another update, I will check in again. Okay, another quick update. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I need a break. I need a shoot. This village drink on my bed. Okay. Here's the update. I haven't listened to any more of the audiobook. And it is almost 4:45 maybe. Something like that. But I did finish a graphic novel, The Other Side of Tomorrow, which was so good. So good. 5 stars. Came out last year. And it's a middle grade graphic novel about 2 kids and one of the main characters, his mother, because they eventually do link up with her, escaping North Korea and trying to make it out of North Korea. So, of course, I think that, once again, it's like my history major side kind of tapping into the things. I knew a little bit about what happened between North and South Korea, you know, the result of World War II, which inevitably led to the attempt to put the 2 countries to reconcile them back together, but North Korea wanting to make South Korea a communist nation, and resulting in the Korean War in 1950. And so, of course, that went on for a few years. They signed an armistice, can't remember how to say that word, ceasefire. And the line was drawn at that 37th parallel. 37th, I think 37 is the correct number. I'm trying to remember all this stuff off the top of my dome. It's not always fun or easy getting older, but I didn't know how much, like, I guess I didn't realize that when a lot of people left North Korea, they were going into China. I don't know why my assumption was that the main point of escaping was from North Korea into South Korea. That's not the case. The route that they went on was North Korea, China, then they ended up in, did they end up in Thailand? I feel like they ended up in Thailand. Then they ended up in South Korea, and then they, that was kind of the route that they took. But it was very enlightening, very heartbreaking to know how many children make that journey, and not just children, just humans. How many humans make that journey trying to get to, like, what I have here. I complain, I don't want to say I complain, and it's complicated because you don't want to oversimplify the issues that we have here in America, right? But it also makes me think about some of the things that I do have access to that other places don't, and how important it is for us to be interconnected as a global community, and how important it is for us to be aware of what, in terms of humanity, like what other people are going through. Like, the US is going through a shit show right now. We'll never deny that. They definitely are. I think that for me, it's one of those, somebody of course is cutting grass. Like, why? Like, why? Why right now? Why right now? They could have had any other day of the week. They want to cut grass right now. And I feel like I'm going to pop out because I'm trying to fold clothes at the same time, and it's not exactly working. So, sorry for the person cutting grass in the background. Can't really control that. It's horrible timing. But it does make me think about some of the things that I do have that are basic needs that are not granted.
Mommy, can I give my fridge and fix it?
Yeah, where is it?
In my book bag.
Yeah, you can get it and fix it. That's fine. I think about the things that I have that are like basic needs that are sometimes difficult to access, but not completely out of the realm of accessibility. So, like electricity is high, and I really don't care for how high my electricity bill has been lately, but I know that I am not at the whims of the government controlling my electricity. And I think that that does tie into a lot of the conversations that are happening here in the States right now, is that we don't want to get to that point. It's so easy to get to that point and look back and say, holy crap, how did this happen? So it got me thinking about a lot of different things. And it's not, like I said, it's not to undermine the experiences that we're having here, but it's also wanting to become more aware of what, my fellow humans are experiencing on a global level. And so you're seeing all of this through the perspective / eyes of children who are forced to do things like dig for metal, scraps of metal, to get money to pay for a couple of potatoes to eat for the day. They're starving. There's no access to internet. Most of them have never seen a computer nor used one because everything's so government sanctioned. You have generations of people, that family, generations of that family just terrorizing their own people, wanting to be worshipped as gods, not allowing them to have their most basic needs. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, it's devastating, it's heartbreaking to know that there are things that I struggle with, things that I think sometimes like I'm going to do for my kid that I'm not able to do because, you know, this country can be difficult sometimes. Capitalism is a beast of its own. But then I think about things that I know that my child like just is not going to have to go without. And it makes you more aware of the plight of other people, the experiences that other people have to go through in order to make it through. And it does make you a little more grateful for what you do have. And it gives you some perspective. And to know that now the number of people that have been able to escape North Korea has dropped dramatically. And that they are doing everything they can to make sure that people are unable to escape. JJ Lee did the step away so I can put this shirt in the right place. JJ Lee did the artwork on that, and I read their trans non-binary author, and I read their work in Limbo, not last year, it may have been 2023, and I loved it. So I was happy to see that they did the artwork on this title. It was just hard, y'all. that was a difficult read. I think my heart dropped more than a couple of times, praying that nothing was going to happen to these babies and to their mom. And there was another person that made the journey with them. It was gut-wrenching, and it made my heart palpitate more than a couple times. So if that tells you anything about that experience, but I did enjoy it. It was eye-opening. It was something that I think I needed to read. So we have that completed. I'm gonna put none of I've sorted clothes and folded whatever needs to go in drawers, laid out whatever needs to go in closets. I'm gonna focus on putting that stuff away. I uploaded a video to my channel today. It's my final January wrap-up, which is an hour long. And then I have to edit and upload my Patreon wrap-up because they get all of my adult-related content now. So I need to work on that. I'm gonna put these clothes away and then I'll probably go downstairs and work on that. It is close to 5 o'clock. I don't know if I may get Brewed with Love finished today. We'll see what happens. While I put the rest of these clothes away, I'm gonna listen to that. Not gonna listen while I edit. And then we'll see how the rest of the night goes. I may pick up something physical to read. I don't know. I do have that I showed y'all yesterday. Whatever it was called. That was right here on my bed. What do you know? I do have the Firelight Apprentice. I may go ahead and start this one, and because I started looking through it yesterday when I did that intro clip, and I love Brie Paulson. A lot of people know Brie Paulson from the Garlic and the Vampire little duology. People love that, honey. People who are not like graphic novel readers love Garlic and the Vampire. So I may go ahead and read that one to get me through the rest of the evening before I do her bedtime routine. I have something going on this evening, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to be able to get done. So we'll see what ends up happening. Child. Tired. I was tired. I done cleaned this house from the top to the bottom. Done cleaned this whole house. Do you think my 5-year-old helped me? I'm not gonna do her like that because she did help a little bit. She did. She sorted her clothes out. and she helped a little bit downstairs. But all right, I'll check in later.
Told me that you wanted to crash a car for the overpass, the one over on Briley Avenue. Can't believe the words I said. How are we gonna pay for it? Instead of how could I replace you? Dropped you off at the hospital, pushed you away when I should have pulled you in and let you know that I'll never let you go. So when everything is melting down, all the sirens and the lights and sound, when you're feeling like there's no way out, I'll hold you till you're finally found. Even when you're on the edge and the thoughts are blurry in your head.
My battery's about to die, so I need to figure some things out. I just vacuumed this. Anyway, that's not relevant. That's not why we're here. This is not why we're here. Okay, so I did a lot of talking yesterday. I did a lot of talking yesterday because I felt like I had more capacity to do a lot more talking. However, today, Sunday, is usually a prep and get ready for the following week. As you can see, at one point I had to make dinner. I was doing baby's hair. We had to run errands to prep for her friend's day. It's Valentine's Day, but they're making it about having friends. Whatever, it's cute. It's, they're 4 or 5 years old. So there was a lot of things that happened today where I was not able to actively get on the camera and say something. So I thought I would do a quick check-in. I probably will do one more sit down and do a final wrap up, but I wanted to check in and say I did end up finishing Brewed with Love. It was a cute young adult cozy fantasy. We have those 2 main characters. Her name is, and I said I wasn't going to forget any of these characters' names. Literally said that today. I wasn't. Her name is Sage, and I almost wanted to call the girl oregano. Her name is Sage. And her best friend had that falling out. Her best friend left, and then she comes back, and then she's kind of like, well, you never explain why you left. You just stopped kind of talking to me, and our relationship is kind of in shambles. We clearly had some romantic feelings for each other. I would have liked to explore those, but unfortunately it didn't happen. In the context of them trying to, while they're trying to figure out the dynamic of their friendship/relationship, there is a mystery element as well. So Sage and the best friend end up, or ex-best friend, almost ex-girlfriend, I don't know, end up working at the same shop together. And when they're working at the shop together, somebody robs them and steals a potion that Sage had been working on, and it becomes this whole thing about like who stole the potion, because a girl drank it by accident and loses her memory. And so now the council is threatening to shut the operation of the shop down if they don't figure out who actually did this thing. And so there's kind of like this conversation about independent companies, or shall we say, I don't want to say, because they refer to it as like indie companies, but like small businesses versus like mass corporations or chain stores. There's that undercurrent of conversation. There's a little bit of conversation about like gentrification, inclusion, and making assumptions about groups prior to knowing them. There's this kind of bias that even some of the magical folks have towards werewolves, and so that's kind of incorporated. It was cute. I thought that it was kind of obvious. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, it was very obvious. You could tell exactly what was going on. From the very beginning, I knew why the best friend left. So I wouldn't go into this thinking like you're going to get the most thrilling twists and turns or anything like that. Like, don't think that that is the expectation that you're going to get out of this. It is very obvious from the very beginning what's going to happen. But honestly, this is one of those few books where I'm like, I actually enjoyed the vibes. The vibes in this were interesting. It was fascinating. I loved our 2 characters. I liked the world itself. It definitely felt like this was one of the first, and I may have said this earlier, it's like definitely like one of the first cozy fantasies that I think I've experienced in reading young adult, and I wouldn't mind it. It definitely felt great to have somewhat of a palate cleanser, because I've read things that have been kind of super emotional lately, and so that was a nice break away from all of that. So I think I'm going to go with, I haven't settled on a 3 or a 3.5. I think I'm going to go with a 3.5, because if I'm talking about enjoyment, I did enjoy it. I think that there were some serious technical issues in terms of the plotting and pacing were a little off, and I think that things were a little too obvious, where it was very easy to figure out the whole kind of the sequence of events. But the characters were fun, the world itself was fun, the vibes and the social commentary were great, so I can't be really upset at that. So I think I'm gonna go with the 3.5, because I felt very strong about that. The next thing that I ended up finishing, which is one that I had started this vlog with, which is the Firelight Apprentice by Brie Paulson. Everyone knows Brie Paulson from Garlic and the Vampire, Garlic and the Witch. I think like a lot of people have read that series. I love the artwork in this. I think the storytelling wasn't as strong. It is kind of hard to describe this book because you don't get a lot of back matter in terms of what this world is. It definitely is a fantastical world where we're following a set of sisters, and they live in this magical world where magicians had been basically conscripted to fight on behalf of the king. And the youngest daughter is exhibiting magical abilities, which she would need someone to mentor her. And so the older sister has this conflict because their mother passed away during the war being a magician. Their father is not doing well as a result of being a part of this war, and so her sister doesn't want her to be a part of any of this. Now there is a villain in this, but honestly in the grand scheme of things I was kind of like, I don't get how it fits into the story, because we don't have a bigger understanding of the world itself. And so it felt very two-dimensional. It made me feel like I wasn't as invested. I mean, the art is breathtakingly beautiful as always. It's Brie Paulson. But this is, in terms of storyline, one of the weakest that I've seen her do. And so that was kind of disappointing. Not saying that this isn't worth a read. If you like Brie Paulson, you're a fan of Brie Paulson, I definitely recommend picking it up. But I wouldn't expect much in terms of development, like world development in this. I did like the characters, but there was very little explanation about how the magic worked. There was this entity or entities that are part of the world, but it just felt kind of put in there to give the story some conflict. So I think that if we would have gotten a little bit more development of the world on the back end, I could have appreciated the story more for what it was. But I'm gonna give this one 3 out of 5 stars. And then I also ended up finishing Mixed Up, which is another middle grade graphic novel by Kami Garcia, art by Brittany Williams, and the lettering by Comic Crafts Tyler Smith. Now, I was sent this one by First Second, so I definitely will be posting this probably on my Instagram and giving it a review. I like this one. It focuses on a main character by the name of Stella. She's going to 5th grade with her 2 best friends, and they love like this witchy type series. It reminded me a little bit of the Witchlings. I don't know why that was a thing where I connected the two. I was like, oh, this reminds me of the Witchlings, but it's not, because this thing that they're interested in is definitely has a TV show and all this stuff, but they are bonded by this TV show that has comics and all that, and the 3 of them are going to 5th grade together. And then there's this guidebook that comes out, right? There's a guidebook that's coming out, and then there's this big announcement that this witch type universe is going to get its own gameplay, like computer gameplay, and you have to use the guide in order to figure out how the gameplay works. Well, unfortunately, we start to notice that Stella is struggling not only with that, but as she works through 5th grade, she's like, why is there so much reading? Like, we read for every single subject. I don't remember there being this much reading. I feel like this is a little bit much. I feel like it's super intense. I'm not finishing my work on time. I'm not keeping up. I'm not able to, basically when it comes down to doing assignments, I can't do them. And so her teacher thankfully starts to notice things in terms of like how she's answering questions, how she's last to finish with all of her assignments. She's struggling a little bit. And then, of course, we find out that she does have dyslexia. And so this is a book that is focused on what it's like to have dyslexia, what happens when someone may be diagnosed with dyslexia, what the support system will look like, kind of the emotional and mental changes that happen with a child that's been diagnosed with dyslexia. And so there's, you know, embarrassment, there's a question of intelligence, and I like that all those things are reaffirmed in the sense that like your brain just learns differently, and so we have to train it or rewire it to look at things a little differently than what it does now. And I appreciated that. I thought that was amazing. The artwork was really, really great. I loved it. It actually has dyslexic friendly font, so if you know a kiddo that does have dyslexia, this is and I can tell, well, I don't know if you've never seen dyslexic friendly text before, you may not be able to tell, but I have, just because of my work in the library and things that I've seen come through that we use as resources for families and community members, that I could tell that it was dyslexic friendly text. But I love that it's there. Like I absolutely love that that was incorporated into this book. I think it was super important that they did that, but I enjoyed it. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. So that's 3 books so far. I started an audiobook by Gordon Corman. It is his latest one that came out in January. It's called Old School. And it's hilarious because this little boy who ends up being in a retiree like community with his grandmother, because his parents go off, and it was only supposed to be like a short stay, and then they just kind of continue with their careers. And so he ends up staying with his grandmother, and his grandmother like filed paperwork to say that he was 60 when he's really 6. And so the government came asking like, well, why haven't you applied for your benefits? And then that's when they found out like, okay, you're 12 and you're not in school. Like, you need to be going to school. So he's going to school for the first time, and he has grown up around older people, like people who are 70, 80 years old. And so that's how he kind of operates as a kid. He very much so carries himself like he's an old man. It is funny so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's told into perspective with another kid that goes to the same school. It's a little girl, and I'm guessing that they're going to become friends. She's going to help him kind of navigate school. But I am 7% into that. I don't know what else I'm planning to pick up this evening. Now, 48 hours for me is at midnight tonight. I'm not going to be reading to midnight because I'm extremely tired. It's Super Bowl night. It's not like I'm watching the Super Bowl. I have no interest in watching the Super Bowl, except for like, you know, Kendrick Before may not like us. But to be fair, it'll be on the internet tomorrow. So I just don't care either way. So my bedtime probably will be in the next like 2 hours. So with that being said, I'm just going to see what I can get done in the next 2 hours, and then I will do a final check-in tomorrow, and this vlog will go up on Tuesday. But this was fun, like just kind of getting a feel for how much I could get done in 48 hours, with especially on the weekend when it's me and my kid and I'm trying to like clean up the house, get dinner cooked, and get things prepped and do grocery shopping and all of that. But it gives you kind of like a sneak peek into my life and how I read, because you know, the conversations about how much people read and how they read and whether we're able to retain if we read X amount of books, it's so annoying. It's so frustrating. And so I hope like seeing videos like this, it kind of normalizes the fact that this is, once again, like for me, I prioritize reading at night. Like my kid goes to bed because she is 5. She's in bed by 7:30, right? I'm up for like another 3 hours, and even while she's up, I still try to get things tidied up and ready for the next day. So 3 hours of reading time for me. I'm not watching TV. Clearly tonight, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. There's some nights where I stay up later, and I'm literally, the only thing I'm doing is reading. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't. But yeah, I think, you know, whatever. I'll do the final update tomorrow and get this edited up on Tuesday. I gotta think of another vlog that I want to do. I have some projects that I'm working on, but just like a general kind of weekly vlog thematically, I almost want to go back to my fantasy vibes for the week. And so what I may do is do a vlog where I spend a week reading nothing but fantasy. We'll see how that goes. We shall see. All right, y'all. I will check in tomorrow. Bye.
4 shots and you're pouring me a fit. But no girl's ever looked at me like this. Your roommate's pissed, she's halfway out the door. We throw our glasses back and I shiver as your hair kisses the floor. I can't remember.
Hey y'all, so I'm here to do a quick wrap up because you know what? I'm in the same spot now because my refrigerator's not acting full, and watch, as soon as I say that, it's gonna act weird. But just kind of an idea of what I did end up finishing for that 72 hours is actually days later now that I am filming this wrap up. So I'm like, wait, what did I finish? So I did end up finishing that audiobook of Brewed with Love. I talked about that. I ended up finishing The Other Side of Tomorrow, which was that graphic novel that I enjoyed. And I also ended up finishing Mixed Up and the Firelight Apprentice. You probably saw a clip of me starting this, The Flicker by H.E. Edgman. This is a middle grade speculative book that came out last year, and I'm excited to continue with this. I didn't get far enough in it to really tell you anything about it, except that it feels post-apocalyptic. It is a pair of step siblings where their parents have been killed off and now they're trying to essentially survive. So I think this one has some interesting things. It did win, did it win Stonewall? I can't remember. I feel like it did get an award for Youth Media Awards. So that's, if not, it should have. Just off of the little bit that I read, I do think that it seems like it's going to be an amazing book. So that is it. This was fun. It gives you a little insight, like I said before, like to my life and how I managed to read, especially working and having a kiddo, and how all that seems to balance together or not balance together depending upon how you look at it. But that's it. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, the links will be down in the description box. And that is it, my friends. That is it. I'll be back with another vlog soon. I already started a new vlog and I'm excited about it. So there's that. All right, bye.